Nerd News Network. Scrolling.
Interesting one.
Oh yeah, there is things. I would say on this list,
Okay, here we go.
we've got 3 things that make me. Oh no, 3 things that make me kind of happy, and also 3 things that make me kind of mad. And there's only 5 things on the list. Fun. So,
Okay.
from November 1st, Disney Plus is going to start cracking down on password sharing, a la Netflix, and only people in the same household with the same root IP, blah 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 blah. It's starting in Canada, but this is a big problem. So at the minute, sharing our Disney Plus account, you have an account for me, an account for Jenna. In reality, that could just be one account because we watch the same stuff together 90% of the time. But for that 10%, it's handy. You have my sister. You have my father. You have Jenna's mother and Jenna's sister. Across currently 3 households.
Really milking this account.
And in the new year, it will be 4 households when me and Jenna move out. And we pay for it annually, which I believe the last time we got charged was £96. And that gets split between 6 of us. So it ends up being like, I don't know, well, like 15 quid for the year. Which for Disney Plus, with the stuff they bring out, and the backlog of stuff like Family Guy, which one of them things that one of the few things I can rewatch anytime, it is absolutely worth every penny of that.
Yep.
However, if they go only one household's allowed, my sister, my father, Jenna's sister, and her mother will all lose access to it. And if me and Jenna want to keep it, after recently moving out and now having to pay for an entire mortgage, an entire
you won't
property
be paying
by
anymore.
ourselves, we'll have to go up from paying 1/3 of the cost to the whole cost.
Yeah.
Which all of a sudden goes from 30 quid between us, as well as people we care about getting to watch stuff, to it's now 90, nearly £100 for just the 2 of us. Well, I would rather they say the base rate is 96, and if you want to have multiple screens, you pay more. I'm a much bigger fan of this method because the way it works then is you've either got I can watch it and no one else can, and that's £96, but we've all got our own accounts, so we can watch it from anywhere.
Yeah.
At which point, what's the problem? Or you've got, if you want 4 screens, you can pay 120 quid.
Yeah.
Which would still be much better value for us. That'd be £20 each a year. That's nothing. And then we can watch it on 4 different screens at a time. And if we're paying you for 4 screens, why do you give a fuck where them screens are located?
Yeah. So, I've recently got kicked off off the Netflix account.
Oh, really?
So, me and my sister share it.
Got.
And it's a funny situation. So, the account's technically mine because I got it when I was a student, so I got it on a student rate. So I gave it to my sister, but it was only for like a year of student. It was like an offer or something I got. So then she took over paying it for a while and has pretty much been paying it since because she watches it more than me. So it's technically my account, but she watches it more. And it finally, because my girlfriend used it the other day. I haven't actually used it, so it hadn't flagged me. She used it, and then a couple of days later, it was like, "You're not at your house." So yeah, that account I need to talk to my sister, and we'll sort that out. But if Disney, at the moment, my Disney account is me, my girlfriend, who technically our friends that she lives with, like they have an account, so it wouldn't affect her technically. But then it's my mate down south, and then actually one of the KCP guys uses my account, in
In
America.
America.
I don't know how often he uses it anymore, but maybe he still does. But yeah, that's like, if they cut that out, it's like, okay, where it's you and Jenna paying for full account. I already just pay for it, but it's like suddenly all those other people are either going to make accounts or they're just not going to have like.
Oh, if this goes this way, I'm going to be knocking on my neighbour's door going, do you guys have Disney Plus? Yeah, we do. Okay, right. Do you want to cancel it? Connect your Chromecast to our Wi-Fi across the hall, and we'll
Yeah,
just, between us, we'll pay for Disney Plus, and you can just use our Wi-Fi to watch it, and then we'll be on the same IP.
yeah.
Do you like?
It's
Genuinely more tempted to
it's
from my router network up the entire fucking apartment block,
it
and we'll all just fucking share all our passwords.
it baffles me that like Netflix and Disney, and like anytime they're going to make this change, like they're willing to potentially sacrifice. So like it's like, okay, you could have 4 people on one account. Right now, they just pay for one account. You're hoping by doing this that those 4 people, then 3 of them have to go make new accounts. So you're thinking, oh, we're going to get 3 people paying for it again. When in reality is, most likely, like in your case, all those other people might, like one, maybe all of them will get rid of it. So they're losing like, they think they're going to get like 4 times the pay income from your account. But reality is they're going to get maybe 2, where they could guarantee, like you say, offer more screens for a bigger price. Like, sure, it's not going to be the same amount they would make off a whole account, but it's guaranteed. Like, you're way more likely to go, yeah, just pay the extra. We can all keep it. Because I actually think people that regularly watch stuff care more about keeping their preferences and their recommendations. If they are forced to lose that, they don't care about, like, they're less likely to make a new account. You're more likely to keep those people if you're like, we'll charge you a bit more to keep, but like you can have multiple screens and you get to keep all of your account preferences and everything.
Are you ready for the real kicker?
Okay.
So, there is a world in which I I sing a little sea shanty to make sure I'm up to date for the podcast.
Yeah.
And my family no longer have access to Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And what this turns into,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's my sister no longer has Disney Plus, so
Yeah.
she's not watching the Marvel shows. My dad no longer has Disney Plus, so he's no longer watching the Marvel shows. Jenna's mother no longer has Disney Plus, so she's no longer watching the Marvel shows.
Mm-hmm.
So when a film's coming up,
Yeah.
and I go, are we going to the cinema to watch this together? And they go, what is it? What do I need to have seen? And I go, oh, you need to have watched these 2 shows, and they haven't seen it. They're more likely to go, no, I'm okay. I'll be confused. I can't be asked. And that is then 3 less tickets sold. And yeah, 3 tickets isn't a lot, but I'm willing to bet I'm not the only person in the exact same situation here.
Do you know what this? So here's my theory to why now Disney's doing this. It's twofold. One, they've watched Netflix do it. Netflix has probably gone, oh, we haven't lost any accounts, because everyone's gone, well, fuck's sake, I'm halfway through a show, I'll just make an account for a month. In a month's time, people are going to finish their shows they were watching and they're going to cancel their subscriptions. So Disney's going, oh, look, Netflix hasn't had a downtick from it, so it's not a bad thing. We'll do it. Also, we talked about a couple of weeks back, the fact that Bob Iger is trying to sell Disney to Apple. What looks better when you're trying to sell a business than, look at how many more accounts we have on our books? Then are like thinking like, oh, this bumps their number up of accounts because they know, probably the same situation of Netflix. If people are halfway through a show, all right, I'll make it for a month so I can finish my show. They'll probably cancel down the line, but it like inflates their numbers for a short period of time. That's the way I think this is coming from. But I think in the long run, like you say, it hurts them in the long run with people wanting to go see the MCU films. People already, like my sister isn't that excited about MCU stuff anymore because she hasn't watched any of the shows on Disney Plus because she can't be bothered trying to keep up. She's working, like she works a full-time job. She hasn't got time to be watching all of these shows, especially if she hasn't watched them and then a film's coming out and she's like, oh, I need to watch all these? Oh, forget it. Doesn't bother. Like, MCU's not that deep to her. And I think that's the case for a lot of people. It's like, yeah, we enjoyed it when it was at the height of the MCU, so we're all kind of enjoy the films and we're somewhat intrigued to go see the new ones. But then now you're telling us we need to have all these shows, but that requires me to pay for Disney Plus just to watch one, like these specific shows, and I don't actually want to watch anything else than that. No, I'm not fucking paying for it. Like, they're just shooting. It feels like they're shooting themselves in the foot when there is other options. Like, there's other streaming sites like Crunchyroll that does anime. You pay for number of screens. Like, like, it doesn't have to be IP locked. Like, why is this? Why do they think this is the only option?
I have never, ever pirated any content.
There we go.
Not because I'm not smart enough to do it, simply because I can't be asked. Not worth the hassle. And for the longest time, there has been a completely legal and safe way to pay for it, and I'm okay to pay for my content. However, me and Jenna have already had discussions about the fact that when we move out, if at any point we need to save a couple of quid a month, Netflix is gone. We've both agreed that is the streaming service we use the least. We will happily get rid of that bitch. Yeah, we'll keep it around while we can because there is stuff we like to watch on it. But in reality, we'll get to the point where we're like, no, we might binge it for one more month to make sure we've got everything we want to watch from it, and then it's gone. And we probably would never get it back. We'd just move on with our life.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm paying 90 quid a year for Disney Plus.
Yeah. I think I already am like the person that pays for it. So it's like, it won't affect me. I probably will keep paying for Disney Plus because it's like, unless I'm in a situation where like I need to cut down my
Yeah.
expenditure. But like Netflix, I'm not going to go, like, I'm gonna my plan essentially I'm gonna give my sister my account and be like, yeah, do what you want with it. I'm like, I will maybe get Netflix when the new season of Stranger Things comes out. I will pay for a month, binge it. That's all, and then it's gone again. Like, there's a world where things slow down, like they're saying they're going to do on Disney, where I'm just paying for it on the odd month here and there.
Yeah. You pay for it the day before Ahsoka comes out. You get 2 months to watch all of Ahsoka, then you cancel again.
Yeah, the
And
only like
over the course of the year, you'll probably only end up being unsubscribed for like maybe 2 or 3 months. But it'll
saves.
be more money in your pocket.
The thing as well is like, we've said, to be honest, Star Wars is keeping me on Disney Plus more than Marvel is. And it's like, if Disney wants to sell and they end up having to sell off some of their IPs and Star Wars ends up no longer part of Disney, ain't no fucking reason for me to be like,
No.
yeah, it just is. We need Canada to stand strong.
Yeah.
And not go and make new accounts or anything and just be like, no, fuck you, Disney. And they go, ah, shit, this isn't going to work.
It's a tricky one for sure. But it's fine because Disney have already lost one war. The VFX workers at Disney have voted unanimously to unionize.
There's a surprise.
And they are apparently already looking to join with other external VFX artists to give themselves more bargaining power to fight for their rights.
They're probably going to the biggest external ones that do work for Disney. And
just go find all of the artists, get them all to sign up to this union, and collectively stick a giant middle finger up to all of the massive companies.
Studios,
and here's the thing. We predicted that streaming services were going to all of a sudden start announcing things that were going to cost us more money the second the WGA deal went through. We knew that. Me and you sat there, and I said, I'm pretty sure last week, I was like, so get ready for the price announcers. And that's what Netflix have announced. Netflix have announced they will be raising their prices again soon.
Yeah.
Depending
It's
on how much they try and raise that price, there is a real chance that I just look at Jenna and go, "Is there anything you desperately care about on Netflix?" And she'll go, "Oh, we still got 2 episodes of Sex Education to finish." I'm like, "Sweet, let's go through. We will create like a third profile. We will go through, find any shows that we both want to watch.
yeah.
We will go through, we will watch them. Then once we're done, cancel it. That's £9, £10 a month back in our pocket."
Netflix is very quickly. If it, I feel like raising its prices, the current state of things, I definitely see all these streaming services kind of having a bit of a collapse in popularity.
Yeah, 100%.
Speaking of
Um,
bad popularity,
this is one of them things that makes me smile, Harry. So,
yeah,
towards the end of the writer's strike, Drew Barrymore, who I always used to like, so this made me quite sad, decided to try and bring back her daytime talk show without the writers. Scab, scab, scab. And now that the writers are no longer on strike, she has reportedly been told by her old writers that they will not be coming back to work for her because she tried to work without them.
yep, valid,
And
very
and
valid,
apparently some of the first writers she's gone back to,
or reached out to.
reached out to take over writing it, have gone, "No, fuck you."
Yeah, we're not coming to work on your show.
That's really funny. And this goes to what we were talking about. If you scab, it can ruin your fucking career. Now, Drew Barrymore is famous enough that she will find other work. But this could kill this show of hers. This
Yes,
very big project of hers that she cares about a lot, that has her name plastered all over it. And if the reason it gets cancelled is no one wants to work on the show because of Drew, that really limits her ability to be a major part of projects.
well, yeah. This could very easily go. No writers are willing to work on it, or the ones that are young, new, don't have a lot of experience, so they're not writing the best stuff. Or she tries to run it without writers, popularity goes down, gets cancelled, show is gone. This goes back, like you say, when we talked about actors scabbing or coming out with the wrong opinion to be having against the strikes. You're just putting a target on your back to essentially screw yourself out of work and out of opportunities. And yeah, she's just gone and done that to herself essentially.
Yeah, 100%. And it's funny. Don't
Yeah,
be a piece of shit.
yeah.
These people are working,
Don't try and
giving you, like, let's be honest. Drew Barrymore, I mean, actually, it's probably information we can fucking find. How much
she like
does Drew Barrymore make
if you're
per
gonna try and
episode?
work like scam the system and work around what you're meant to do. Like if you're trying to do something you're not meant to do, and now you're getting burnt for that decision, it's deserved. She probably makes plenty. She should have just gone and made a podcast with other talk show hosts to kill the time.
So, people doing similar shows to her
Yep.
have earned anywhere between 1.5 to 8 million annually. So she's earning somewhere in that range.
Yep.
Probably, I'd say, based on the names there, about $2 million a year.
Yeah.
Over 3 years the show's been running, that's about $6 million she's made.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be surprised if all of the writers who've worked on that show over the 3 years have made that combined.
Yep.
You need them more than they need you. Because guess what? There will always be another actor. If all of the writers refuse to work for you, there will not always be another writer. And
Yeah.
writers are the people who, like you said, if you have to go to such shit writers or such inexperienced writers who don't know what they're doing in that kind of a show,
Mm-hmm.
the quality's going to fall off, the ratings are going to plummet,
And the studio's gonna pull the plug.
and it's going to get cancelled. And a cancelled show looks a lot worse for you as the name on the show. So in me saying something that I didn't think would have to be said to industry veteran like Drew Barrymore, you reap what you sow.
Yeah. Well deserved.
I'm not going to feel sorry for someone who's actively screwing people over.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, would you like some really good news though, Hori?
Some exciting news.
Some phenomenally fucking exciting news. So, bit of backstory. There's this game that came out 3 years ago called Cyberpunk 2077. It got panned and taken off the PlayStation Store because it wasn't good enough when it came out. Me and Hori have never really subscribed to that. We admitted it has bugs and it has problems, but we both adored it from the day it came out because it is one of the greatest modern games.
And also, a lot of the issues weren't actually their own fault.
Yes. And over time, it simply got better and better and better. And I'm pretty sure we're both loving the game again right now with the new updates. In that time, the universe it's set in has had previous board games and books. Then it had this game, which was set in the future of this universe. And then we got the Edge Runner series, which me and Hori did talk about on this podcast.
Yes, we did.
Which we both adored. A live action project in the Cyberpunk 2077 universe has been announced with a brand new story. I cannot fucking wait.
I am excited. I am always cautious when video games get brought into live action. Especially after the quality of a story we had from Edge Runners.
I concur with that fear. However, CD Projekt Red working with people has a very good track record. So I'm a bit more confident in being confident.
Yeah, no,
like The Witcher, for instance. I know it had its issues, but overall, The Witcher was a well-received show.
Yeah, and I mean, The Witcher has wavered in fan reception over the last season and this season, more so because that's not CD Projekt Red's control. The Witcher was a series of books that, like, they got the opportunity to make the games for, but there was already so much content there that like they don't have control. Whereas Cyberpunk is a world they've built up, and it's like, okay, CG Projekt Red came up with everything. Like this, they worked on Edge Runners with the studio that did it, made an incredible story in just 6 episodes.
Yeah.
I'm sure the story will actually be great. It's just, I think it's like, I was so blown away with how good Edge Runners was. It unfortunately has raised my expectation.
100%.
So
Edge
now
Runners
I'm like,
is art.
I need it to be as good as Edge Runners, which is like, I think unfair, but
I don't think you could ever ask anything to be as good as Edge
but
Runners.
It could be very exciting, and
it's so exciting. And I'm actually really excited that they're not just trying to make the game a film.
Yes, I think they know, like the reason they did Edge, that it's better to use the world to tell other stories than to try and just tell the story of the game that everyone's played.
You know me, when it comes to games, I'm not much of a lore guy.
Mm.
I am not ashamed to admit that I watched a 4-hour YouTube video breaking down the history from like 1980 through to 2077 of the Cyberpunk world.
And all the corporations and everything.
Yeah, to explain everything and how it all went down and why stuff happened and this, that, and the other. It is a phenomenally well put together world.
Mm-hmm.
And like we said before, you've got high fantasy guys and you've got sci-fi guys. I'm a sci-fi guy.
Yeah.
So while I can enjoy Lord of the Rings, the way it's structured bends my brain a bit too much. Whereas Cyberpunk, because of the way it works instead, I'm kind of like, yeah, no, this is my shit. Plus, it's like about a post-apocalyptic world because we let corporations go, and I love sitting here and just going, "See, you need to be scared." But yeah, I cannot wait. And like this project is one of them few things that I'm just like, yeah, I want it. I want it now.
It could be
I want it
very
yesterday.
good.
100%. There is so many good stories to be told in that world, and I cannot wait to see what they come up with. It'll be great. Talking of great stories.
Nice.
I'm on fire today.
You are.